Welcome. Thank you for joining me to learn how you can maximize the strategic value of formulations data for your organization. I'm Molly Strasbaugh, today's presenter, and I'm currently an Assistant Director, Product and Content Operations at CAS. During the next 15 minutes, we'll discuss how pharmaceutical companies can maximize the strategic value of formulations data to shorten development timelines, stay ahead of the competition, and position themselves for success. Formulating, a key part of the pharmaceutical value chain, is a make-or-break step in developing an active pharmaceutical ingredient, or API, into a viable product. Formulators actively research, design, and iterate formulations that ensure the stability and efficacy of APIs, improve patient compliance with treatment regimens, and adhere to changing regulatory requirements. Without a strategic and intelligent formulating process, an API would never make it into the market. In fact, even the prescribing success of a medication can depend on the choices formulators like you make when designing drug formulations. Physicians consider different factors before prescribing drugs to patients, such as effectiveness, side effects, ease of use, and cost, all of which largely depend on how a drug is formulated. In this critical phase in product development, 60% of companies like yours have experienced a project delay or failure due to formulating challenges, with more than half of formulation project delays lasting over 12 months. And here's another alarming figure that keeps your chief executive officer and R&D leaders awake at night. Did you know the average development time and cost to bring a new drug to market today takes 10 years and upward of $5 billion USD? Let's address why that is and how CAS is helping pharma companies shorten these timelines and shrink costs. When it comes to research and development in pharma, the D side of R&D is a vital part in the patient value chain. For example, the key goal in the treatment and management of type 2 diabetes is to normalize blood glucose levels and prevent significant variation in levels in the body through the use of medications. The drug formulator makes this happen. After an API is identified, formulators turn it into a safe, scalable formulation that will eventually go into clinical trials. Formulators in the pharma industry need to strike a balance between increasing regulations and complexities of product development with the demands for lowering costs. In general, a formulator's diverse range of responsibilities include finding information about ingredients to help design a formulation, finding an existing formulation or product as a baseline for design and iteration, identifying formulation components to meet an objective or desired effect, sourcing components of a formulation, avoiding any gaps in IP knowledge, determining if a formulation will be patentable or if there are legal restrictions is an incredible time burden faced by IP researchers during this phase of a company's pipeline. Formulators often face data challenges and bottlenecks when preparing their ingredient strategy. Formulators like you must address these questions from R&D leaders and the market. Is it safe? Is it effective? What's been done before? How can I give it a specific form? As a result, formulators spend a lot of their time on research to determine how to accomplish project goals, identify baseline formulations, consider regulations, and learn about ingredients and their properties. Most information sources accessed by formulators use small data libraries that are not curated. This type of information is scattered across disparate sources, such as Google search, free databases, or supplier websites, requiring significant time to collect, sort, organize, and manually read. Despite these efforts to gather information, formulators remain unsure of the quality of data, spending significant time testing ingredients that provide a desired effect or improving existing formulations. In a recent CAS survey, we found that formulators spend 60% of their time in the lab. But how much of that time is on testing iterations for a single product despite the research effort? By gaining access to reliable and well-curated information designed for formulators, companies like yours can reduce the time spent on manual information processing, eliminating unnecessary iterations, and ultimately accelerating the formulation's workflow. When it takes 10 to 15 years to develop a new drug, every step of the process matters. 3 years ago, I said this quote to our team in product and content operations at CAS. I wanted to emphasize that product development does not end with API synthesis success. Because of the data disparity and formulators struggling to find pertinent information to do their jobs effectively and with less time, we identified a gap to fill in the market. We built Formulus to fill that gap. It's our new workflow solution made just for formulators. It contains a comprehensive formulations database, including ingredient property data, regulations, and vendor sourcing information that your peers love using. You'll be pleased to know we did our research. CAS has been monitoring and researching this market, talking to and learning from formulators for more than 3 years. We have interviewed and engaged with hundreds of formulators in our discovery work. Partnering with formulators has been key to learn about challenges and opportunities and how we can help support the product development pipeline. Before we could create a product for formulators, we needed to fully understand the formulator workflow process. What is your world and how do you do your jobs? From many interviews, we understood the pathway and where we could help. Take a look at the middle column. Our team built this schematic. It's there where new product Formulus does really well with current customers. We learned that your teams identify opportunities and develop goals. When you are ready to start bringing those goals to reality, CAS can support you by connecting you with formulations data that is interconnected with ingredient information, including properties, regulatory statuses, and potential suppliers. Formulus allows for quick identification of ingredients and their function in formulations, and contains all details from drug product inserts, including warnings. The formulations ingredients table in Formulus displays ingredients and their function, and, when reported, amounts. It also includes patent language summary terms, mandatory, mutually exclusive alternatives, or optional, as determined and curated from the language of the source document. Product feature, commonly formulated with, provides insights into compatibility with excipients or active ingredients, empowering formulators to make informed decisions faster. Serving as a comprehensive database for reliable formulation search, Formulus pairs substance information with important regulatory statuses in key countries, offering pharmaceutical companies the opportunity to factor in the global market at an early stage. Whether a formulation team needs to explore a specific physical property, clarify a supplier claim, or find a substance that plays a particular role in formulations, the relevant information is one quick search away. At this time, I'd like to show you a use case where we explore how Formulus can be used to formulate glimepiride oral medications. Glimepiride is a common active ingredient found in anti-diabetic tablets that can lead to improvements in glycemic control. As a formulator, I have a goal of taking a common sulfonylurea anti-diabetic agent, glimepiride, and making a combination active ingredient drug with it. So what I want to do is start to look at the landscape and see what formulations have been made, what can I see that's been out there to help me design my formulation. As I start to look here, I can see that there are some different purposes that glimepiride works in. I'm interested in how it's working as an anti-diabetic, so we'll run a quick filter, and now we've reduced our results. And we can start to explore some formulations that are out there. So I can see some sources of information, so we can see some formulations from patents, we can see some formulations from other sources, we can start to scroll like a journal, and we can start to see what we want to look for. The top result looked really interesting to me, so we're going to go back and explore that one. I can see that it's working as an anti-diabetic, and it also appears to be a combination drug. So that's something I want to start to explore, is what has been done before with combination drugs. So I can see that it's a bilayer tablet and that there are 2 active ingredients in here. And so if we take a look at the glimepiride layer, I want to explore that first to see what is coming together with that. And we can see different ingredients that it needs as far as inactives. So I can see that it needs some lubricants, some disintegrants, and I can also see some process information for how was this put together, so I can start to think about the considerations for working with this in combination. If I want to start looking for more combinations, we can look at glimepiride and start to see what is it commonly formulated with. And we can see a lot of active ingredients here along with some inactive ingredients. So as we're looking for a combination, let's take a look at formulations that are a combination between glimepiride and simvastatin. With a quick search, we can start to see quickly what are formulations with these two ingredients specifically. Let's filter down to capsules because we're interested in a specific oral delivery type. And we can quickly see results of capsules and start to see how these things come together. We can see different functions that they're working with, the amounts, and we can even get to the original patent if we want to look at how this was done so we can see what freedom to operate that we have. Learn more at cas.org/formulas.